a graduate student here in the astronomy department, PhD program. And yes, you'll be talking to us about cataclysmic variables and other phenomena to do with variable stars.
Is this loud enough up the back? Is that okay? Thumbs up, thank you, that's good. If I get too quiet, just let me know. As Dwayne said, my name is Andrew Brown. I recognize some of you. Probably some of the people who've seen me before didn't turn up, but that's okay. I tend to do the slideshows afterwards, so let's go. Thank you for coming. And we're going to talk about some interesting stuff tonight, so let's get started. So, stars touch every part of astrophysics. We've studied the stars for thousands of years, and recently we pretty much figured out more, I'm talking about in the last 100 years, than we've known for the past 1,000 years. It's really amazing. It's a fantastic time to be doing what we're doing. It's a fantastic time to study the stars. Now, this information tells us about the rest of the universe, because written in the very stuff of stars is a cosmic history that connects the stuff of our bodies and everything else around us all the way back to the Big Bang. I think that's pretty amazing. So, sometimes when scientists are talking, or people are just talking about stars, as they tend to do, you just get into a conversation with people about stars, someone might come up to you and say, well, yeah, sure, that information is great, and it's fantastic that we know this stuff, but doesn't that take something away from just appreciating what we're looking at? Isn't it better just to look at these things without thinking about numbers or math? Well, this is what Richard Feynman had to say on that topic. So I'm going to start with this. I'll read it out. Poets say science takes away from the beauty of stars, mere globs of gas atoms. Nothing is mere. I too can see the stars on a desert night and feel them, but do I see less or more? The vastness of the heavens stretches my imagination. Stuck on this carousel, my little eye can catch 1,000,000-year-old light, a vast pattern of which I am a part. What is the pattern, or the meaning, or the why? It does not do harm to the mystery to know a little more about it, for far more marvelous is the truth than any artists of the past imagined it. I think that's pretty neat. Okay. So unless you're an astronomer, unless, of course, you have access to the internet, which is fantastic, this is the way that we've seen the stars for a very long time. In fact, this is pretty much the scene from New York. It's not quite like this, sometimes it's like this. It's a bit of a problem. We should all become radio astronomers, because then it wouldn't matter, but that's okay. District is what I'm talking about. It's funny. Our understanding of stars has come a long way. We used to think that all stars were pretty much the same. We used to think that their differences were maybe just a difference in their lifetime. Just maybe these were young stars compared to old stars. Some stars are red, some stars are blue. We used to think that was all the same, that we were just seeing things at different times. Well, we know now that that's not true. And in fact, we know that a blue star is never a red star. It totally depends on the mass. We're going to talk about that. So, here's our red star. This is our blue star. It's funny, it's amazing, because in the past we looked at these things and we thought, this influences my life. We looked at things like the solar eclipse of last week. 2 weeks? 3 weeks? So, I'm losing track. 3 weeks, okay. We looked at things like that and we thought, oh man, this is either really good from my side or really bad. I'm kind of happy that we don't look at it like that anymore. I'm happy that we look at these things now and think, that's fantastic. And I'm even happier about the fact that we look at these things and we understand them. And we know that it's all about geometry. And we're just lucky to see it, because it's fascinating. Well, as I said, it's only the last 400 years we've had telescopes. 400 years since Galileo first turned a telescope to the sky. So for a long time we've looked at this, and we used to make measurements even without telescopes. We used to plot the positions of stars on the sky. It was only a little bit before that we thought all stars were at the same distance, and we thought they were all fixed on a celestial sphere at a certain distance from us. It made a very small universe. And I'm very happy about the fact that we now know that the universe is bigger than we ever thought possible. It's fantastic. And some stars we know now are in collections, some are in constellations, like the constellation of Orion above us. That's the only one that actually has a position. All the rest are totally random. Or as random as I could make it without making it look like they actually put them there on purpose. We see that some are in actual groups. We see some are in binary stars. We see some are in multiple systems. We know these things are actually incredibly common. And in fact, our own solar system with only one star is a little odd. Maybe it's good that it is a little odd, maybe it's not, maybe it doesn't matter, but it's an interesting thing. So, let's imagine for a moment that we have a perfect view of the sky. So we've gone somewhere like, I don't know, a national park. Somewhere you can get a really good viewing of the sky in America, you just have to go where there aren't so many lights. So, let's add a few more stars to this. Oh. Sometimes, they don't do what you expect them to do. There we go. So I've added a few more stars. Now, this is just meant to show you that there's a lot of different stars in the universe. I'm going to talk tonight about a very large group. And it's a group that we don't normally talk about. Because for a lot of people, when they hear about these stars, they think they're boring. They think these stars aren't exciting. If there was a rock star of the stellar community, it wouldn't be these stars. These stars are the ones that last the longest. They stay pretty quiet. I'm going to put to you tonight that they actually have a huge impact on the universe around them. And I'm going to talk about this. Interestingly enough, they also are involved with the two most energetic processes in the universe. That of gravitation and accretion. That of nuclear fusion and accretion. You're going to throw me off if you go like this, I'm going to ignore you. Okay, so this large group of stars, these stars that are boring, these garden variety stars, how can they be connected by the two most energetic processes in the universe? Well, we're going to talk about that. Let's get started with this. Oh boy, okay. So this is the title of my talk. Teaching Old Stars New Tricks. The Cataclysmic Fate of Low-Mass Stars. Here we go. There's a reason for that part. The next part is about stellar formation. Okay? And the story of stellar formation is the story of gigantic gas clouds in the universe. They're immense. And I thought, well, what would be a good way of talking about gigantic gas clouds? Well, maybe I could compare the mass of gigantic gas clouds to the mass of the hippopotamus. Unfortunately, it wasn't heavy enough. It didn't make any difference. So that's why that's there. So let's talk about the formation of stars. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint you a picture. Now, I'm not going to talk about everything. I'm not going to give you every detail. I'm going to glide over some of the stuff that I don't feel like talking about. I'm going to give you some of the interesting stuff. There will be questions. Some of these questions I'll be able to answer at the end. That's great. But when you get right down to it, as I said, stellar formation is just about gas clouds. It's about gigantic clouds in the universe. Now, let's try and put this in perspective, shall we?